The Game Boy Advanced. The predecessor to the Game Boy Color, which was the predecessor to the original Game Boy, which I have one right here. Wish I had a color. I don't have a color, though. Which is the predecessor to this thing. Of course, mine is a special edition clear, but that's not what the video is about. The original Game Boy is probably a handheld I never grew up with. I grew up with the DS and PSP, but we're going to start with this one right here. But it's a pretty good console. It has really good games, solid library, has a solid library of games. It's fun to play. Now, this model I would not recommend playing on. Not because it's a special edition. This one is well worn. I try to keep it pristine. I don't play it that much, so it looks about like it did when I bought it. Which we'll get to this in a second, and then we'll talk about this one too. But what I say about these is if you have one, I wouldn't recommend buying a 101 model because they're not backlit. Now, this model is nicer to hold than a S2. They say to get the 101, not 102, because the 101 has a better backlight. They lowered the backlight for a 102. But that's the definitive way to play your Game Boy games, or your Game Boy games is on one of those. Not one of these. Now, if you have a backlit one, because this, in my opinion, is better to hold, more comfortable to hold than the clamshell one, the 1000, or not 1000, but 101. I wish I had one to show, but I don't. But I have held one before. This is more comfortable to hold in the hands than it. Of course, it is a cartridge-based handheld system that was released in July 14th, 2000 in Japan. This particular model was released November something, 2002. This is the Lados and Lenios Poke Center of Japan limited edition Game Boy Advanced. Now, this one's obviously been well played. I spent about $160 on it, which was a pretty good deal, but it's been well played. It's worth about that. It's worth more than I spent on it, actually, but that's not what's important. It's a really cool special edition. The pink and metallic blue looks really good. Obviously, it needs a refinishing, but I would honestly rather than be a little war because that proves that it's authentic. You know how hard it is to wear these things? And these wear marks are from legitimate play. So, you know it's an authentic one. Go ahead and start it up. And this was a very... It wasn't quite as revolutionary as like what the DS was. Releasing around... I think the DS was like 2004. None of the Game Boys other than the Game Boy original really lasted a very long time. Because this one had a run from 1989 all the way up to like 1995. This is a 95 Game Boy. Imagine that. Buying one of these. Because the next year after the original Game Boy was finally discontinued, which I believe was like 96, they came out with the Game Boy Color. It had a 1 year, or it had like a 2-year run from 96 to like 90, it was like 96 to 98, I believe is what it was. No, it couldn't have been that, because they released this 2000. Well, still, the Game Boy Color really didn't have that long of a run, because all it was just a hold between, all the Game Boy Color was, in between this and this, was a hold off for this. I guess back onto the topic of this, I'm sorry for this video going all over the place. I guess back on the topic of this right here, they think they've only made about I saw it was like between 10,000 to 50,000 is what it is what they believe they made in between these, and I could see it. This is a pretty rare system. They're pretty hard to find. Of course, it was only released in the Poke Center of Japan. It is a Japanese model, and fun fact about these, they are not region locked. It's one of the few Nintendo systems to not be region locked. I really need a stand for it, but yeah, it's a pretty neat system. So we'll move on over to the Platinum, the much less rare system of the two. The Game Boy Platinum was released for the 1-year anniversary of the Nintendo Game Boy Advanced. Of course, still, it's not backlit or anything, it's just a silver case, and it is a special edition. It was released in every major retailer. They made a million of these things. They're all over the place. This is just almost as common as the clear ones. This is just almost as common as the clear ones. Also, sorry if you hear my chair squeaking in the background, because they made a bajillion and one of these things. I see them all the time. Now, I like the silver. Don't get me wrong. The silver is a good-looking system. I like the way the silver looks. But it's kind of like, I don't know what it is with silver consoles. Silver consoles are always either the second most common system to the first. The PS2 has a silver one. It is the second most common system. The only other more common one is the standard PlayStation 2. Sony's real bad about that. Microsoft, I don't think, has a silver one, and it's just the exact same thing as this, just a different shell, as well as the exact same thing as a normal Game Boy Color. Now, of course, I have no nostalgia for this. I only bought this like 3 years ago. I bought it with some pocket change, and only have a few games for it. Of course, back to some more information. I should have said at the beginning of the video, but this video is going to be all over the place. My videos are unscripted, so I just talk about them as I go. I talk about them as I go. But yeah. Golly, I lost all my words for a minute. See, look, I lost all my words for a second. Golly, what was I going to say? I don't remember. See, look, you're just going to start it up. I forgot everything I was going to say. I was on a roll talking, and I forget everything I'm going to say. See, that's how it happens. I don't understand. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Golly, hold on. Let me catch my bearings. Ashens I am not. Anyway, yeah, I have no nostalgia for the Game Boy. The Game Boy is just a system that's fun to play. Games are expensive. I'd love to have more games on it, but 32-bit it's a 32-bit handheld system, or 16-bit handheld system, my bad. All the games run on 16-bit. It's basically a handheld SNES, or SNES, whatever you want to call it. They're a nightmare to play when they're not backlit, because you burn your retinas out trying to see them. You like struggle, you strain. These are not fun to play without a backlight. You have to be like, you're like in the light trying to play the thing. Of course, it's still from the battery operated area. There we go again, forgetting what I'm saying. Era from the battery operated era. The next model after this, the SP, is a rechargeable battery. Of course, I don't have an SP to show. I want one, but I don't have one because I am a trash. I am a trash at collecting stuff, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's just a very rough video of my PSPs. You got to see a knockoff Ashens. Great value Ashens. Talk about his 2 Game Boy... Did I call them PSPs? Oh my god. I really am Okay, so yeah, you just watched a great value Ashens call his 2 Game Boy Advances PSPs. Anyway, yeah, they're pretty neat. I like collecting these little systems, even though I don't have many games for them. They're neat to see the different color options and all of that. But if you made it this far into the video and you want to support it, then, you know, just go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, all the standard YouTube stuff. I also have a second channel if you want to go check that out if you care about cars. It's called Trailer Park Supercars. I'll put a link to it in the description. But other than that, thank you for watching, and have a good one if anyone watched me talk about it.